Dear students, in this video we will see about the application layer and its basics. As we know, the application layer is the topmost layer of OSI model, that is 7th layer of OSI model. It enables the user, whether human or software, to access the network by providing user interfaces. It also provides services that directly support user applications such as database access, email, and file transfer. It is concerned with error handling and recovery of the message as a whole. So the application layer is going to provide user interfaces to access the network, and it is going to support the user applications like database access, email, and file transfer. It is also handling errors and recover the messages as a whole. To learn the application layer in detail, we should know about few basic things like network virtual terminal, then TELNET, remote access login, remote login procedure, and a few protocols. Let's start with NVT, that is network virtual terminal. An application layer allows a user to log on to a remote host. To do so, the application creates a software emulation of a terminal at the remote host. The user's computer talks to the software terminal, which in turn talks to the host. The remote host thinks that it is communicating with one of its own terminals, so it allows the user to log on. In this slide, an application layer is going to connect with the remote host. So the way how it's connecting with the remote host, by getting permission from the server, like by using some software emulation, and it is going to connect with the remote host, and it is going to identify the own terminal and connecting with the remote host. The next one is TELNET. TELNET stands for Terminal Network. It is a protocol that enables the one computer to connect to remote computer. The user's computer which initiates the connection is referred to as the local computer. The computer being connected to, which accepts the connection, is referred to as remote computer. So before going to see about TELNET, we should know about two things. First one is computer, like local computer and remote computer. The local computer means the user's computer which initiates the connection. So the person who is using the computer and he wants to initiate the connection, it is the local computer, and the computer which is accepting the connection from the user is the remote computer. Basically, it is a protocol that enables one computer to connect to remote computer. The remote computer can be physically located in the next room, the next town, or in other country. So we know about remote computer, it will physically appear in next room or the next town or in the other country. Once the connection is established between the local and the remote computer, local computer emulates the remote computer. The user's local computer will display what is taking place on the remote computer during TELNET session. So the connection will be established between local and remote computer. Then the local computer emulates the remote computer. The user's local computer will display what is taking place on the remote computer during the TELNET session. So you will access the remote computer through your local computer. The next concept is remote login access. Remote login is a process of logging onto remote site and using the services available on the remote computer. With the remote login, a user can also transfer the result of processing from remote computer to local computer. Remote login is implemented by using a protocol called TELNET. So just now we went through about telnet. Telnet is going to access the remote login through your user computer, and here also the same thing. Remote login is implemented by using a protocol called telnet, and remote login, a user can also transfer the result of processing from remote computer to local computer. Basically it is a process of logging on remote site and the services available on the remote computer through your local computer. The next one is remote login procedure. When a user types on local computer, operating system accepts the character. The local operating system does not interpret them, rather sends the characters to telnet client. Telnet transforms these characters to a universal character set called network virtual terminal characters and pass them to the local TCP/IP protocol stack. The commands or tags, the commands are text in NVT form, travel through internet and arrive at the TCP/IP stack at remote computer. And the application layer is having few protocols like SMTP, FTP, HTTP, POP and so on. Let's see about SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. A set of communication guidelines that allow software to transmit an electronic mail over the internet is called Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. It is a program used for sending messages to the other computer users based on email addresses. It provides a mail exchange between users on the same or different computers, and it also supports a single message to one or more recipients. Sending message can include text, voice, video or graphics. It can also send messages on networks outside the internet. The main purpose of SMTP is to set up communication rules between servers. Servers have a way of identifying themselves and announcing what kind of communication they are trying to perform. They also have a way of handling the errors such as incorrect email address. So the main purpose of SMTP is to set up communication rules between servers, because after setting the communication rules, the servers have a way of identifying themselves and announcing what kind of communication they are trying to perform. It is very important to identify the communication which we perform. They also have a way of handling errors such as incorrect email address. The components of SMTP. It has two different components. First one is user agent, second one is mail transfer agent. User agent is shortly known as UA. It prepares the message, creates the envelope and then puts the message in the envelope. The mail transfer agent is shortly known as MTA. It transfers this mail across the internet. Diagram representing the components of SMTP and how SMTP client connecting with the SMTP server of different users. The user A is going to connect with the user B. The SMTP client is requesting the internet to access the SMTP server. The server is providing permission to the client. Then client is communicating with the server through internet. The next diagram is representing user A is going to approach the user agent. The user agent is going to approach or asking permission from MTA client to connect with the MTA server through internet. Then the internet is connecting with the MTA server of user B. MTA server is going to approach the user agent to access with the user B. So user agent is the person or system who prepares the message, creates the envelope and then puts the message in the envelope. The MTA is transforms this mail across the internet. Composition of mail is the first one from working of SMTP. A user sends an email by composing an electronic mail message using a mail user agent. It's a composition of mail. In submission of mail, after composing a new mail. The mail client then submits the completed email to the SMTP server by using SMTP on TCP port 25. The third one is delivery of mail. Email addresses contain two parts, username of the recipient and domain name. For example, wake@gmail.com, where wake is the username and gmail.com is the domain name. The next step is receipt and processing of mail. Once the incoming message is received, the exchange server delivers it to the incoming server. Here, message delivering through mail delivery agent, which stores the email where it waits for the user to retrieve it. The next step is access and retrieval of mail. The stored email in MDA can be retrieved by using mail user agent. Mail user agent can be accessed using login and password. Thanks for watching.